Welcome to 5 Minutes Alone with God. Today we are in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we are going to get started about halfway through this first chapter. So follow along. Chapter 2, verse 1. I said to myself, "Come now, I will test you with pleasure. So enjoy yourself." And behold, it too was futile. I said of laughter, "It is madness," and of pleasure, "What does it accomplish?" I explored with my mind how to stimulate my body with wine, while my mind was guiding me wisely, and how to take hold of folly, until I could see what good there is for the sons of men to do under heaven the few years of their lives. I enlarged my works. I built houses for myself. I planted vineyards for myself. I made gardens and parks for myself. I planted in them all kinds of fruit trees. I made ponds of water for myself, from which to irrigate a forest of growing trees. I bought male and female slaves, and I had home-born slaves. I also possessed flocks and herds larger than all those who preceded me in Jerusalem. I also collected for myself silver and gold, and the treasures of the kings and of the provinces, and I provided for myself male and female singers, and the pleasures of men, and many concubines. Then I became great and increased more than all who preceded me in Jerusalem. My wisdom also stood by me. All that my eyes desired, I did not refuse them. I did not withhold my heart from any pleasure, for my heart was pleased because of all my labors, and this was my reward for all my labor. Thus I considered all my activities, which my hands had done, and the labors which I exerted, and behold, all was vanity, and striving after wind, and there was no profit under the sun. The same person here is looking out and saying, I am going to give myself over to a life of pleasure. And in that pleasure, we see that obviously he's talking about the use of wine, so alcoholic beverages, and work. So he is giving himself to work, and he's building specific things that he himself will enjoy. He's not building things for others, but he's building things to make his life easier and things that are going to be much more pleasant and pleasing to himself. A nice home, a nice park, something that's private, something where there's running water, something where he can control the environment that he's in, and he does all these things. But not only that, he builds up his overall wealth. Something where he can step back and look and say, look what I've accomplished. Look at all these great things that I've done. So that's what's taking place in these first 11 verses. And we see that today. It is the pursuit of wealth, the pursuit of material goods. You've heard the bumper sticker, he who dies with the most toys wins. Well, the correct thing is he just dies. He doesn't win anything. And that's what's taking place here. We see the accumulation of all these type of things. So let me just ask, how would we apply something like this? How do we take like this and ask ourselves, what is God trying to speak to us? Here's a couple applications. 1, pleasure. What is the end result of pleasure? What is the overall goal? Is all pleasure wrong? Is it wrong for us to laugh and to enjoy life? Or is there a balance in those type of things? God is the creator who made us laugh and to enjoy certain things. But if all of life is just about seeking pleasure and about making ourselves feel a certain way, is that what life is for? And what about our work? Do we find purpose in our work? Do we gain and look at our accomplishments like trophies or raises or merit and say, look, we evaluate ourselves at being a good employee or successful because we have earned bonuses of some sort? At the end of life, is that all that there's going to be? Will they place on our tombstone, he or she was a good worker? Is that what we want at the end of life? Or is that all vanity? What is the most important thing in life? That's the question that should be stirred up in our minds. And that's the focus of where our writer here is trying to take us. What does all this mean without God? That's our time for today. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verses 12 through 26.